What's up, everybody? Master Reactor here, and we have another GOAT replay. First of all, let's see the rankings. How am I doing? Woo woo, 6th place. Let's go. 14-15 is my rating. So if you tell me in the comments that I'm trash as fuck and I don't know how to play, are you 6th place? I don't think you are. But that being said, we're going to go jump right into a replay here. This guy was playing some Chaos Return type deck, I guess. It was a close match. It's pretty close. I was on my toes. Didn't think at any point of this game I could have thrown it and let him get it. But, you know, I got to stick it up. I got to stick him with the stick'ems. So I throw rock, he throw rocks. He throws rock, I throw rock. He throws rock, I throw rock. And I go paper, he go paper. And I try to rock, and he goes double paper. Okay, so he got me. So he gets to go first. Instantly not looking too good. All right, so he's got Pot, Ring, Regeki Break, MST, Chaos Sorcerer, and Spy. He draws Heavy and Zaborg off of the Pot. He sets a Morphing Jar, just playing. Morphing Jar sleeves. He sets a Ring and a Spy. I got Mirror Force, Solemn, Double Faith, Spy, and Tribe Infecting Virus. So I'm going to set my Mirror Force, set my Solemn Judgment, and set my Magician of Fate. That's a sort of bluff type thing, because if he knocks me, it sucks. But I mean, I gotta try something. Maybe I'll draw a Pot of Greed off the top or some shit. Usually I don't set Faith with no spells in the grave, but I felt like gambling a little bit. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it pays off. So he flips his Spy, gets his Spy. For turn he draws Snatch Steal. Tributes the Spy for Zaborg. And now I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just going to fire the Solemn because he's got the Spy in defense, so maybe, you know, he doesn't have shit, so he MSTs the back row, goes for the Dark and Light. Now I'm a little pissed off, but it is what it is. He attacks the face down, neg like crazy. That sucks. He sets Regeki Break and says go. I draw on the Torrential. I run out the Tribe, discard the other Fate, pop him. Try to poke him, he takes the damage. I set Torrential, say go. He has Snatch Steal, he draws in a Nobleman. He Snatch Steals my Tribe. Pokes me for the 16. I can't do shit. I say, okay. I'm at 2,400 now. I draw Pot of Motherfucking Greed. Alright, activate the Pot. I don't know what that card does. I draw Duo and another Spy. So I decide to fire the Duo. He chains Regeki Break and pops my back row, which is Torrential. I set Spy and say, go. He draws in a Sinister Serpent. Now, instead of just attacking, he decides to run out the Sinister here. This was a bit of a misplay on his part, not going to lie. Because he's going to run right into a Spy. He even says, fuck. Laugh my fucking ass off, fuck. Alright, so I draw Jar of Greed. Not looking too good, but I'm gaining life points here. Go ahead and give me another 1,000. I'm at 34 now. I switch to Spy and poke right into the Sinister. He takes 9. I set Jar of Greed and set Spy. He draws into Deco. He gets his Sinister Serpent back. And decides to use the Tribe right away and gets rid of my Spies. And it's another Spy. I go for my 4th Spy just playing. He sets Deco and says go. I fire the Jar of Greed. He says okay. I draw into Breaker, which I think is a good draw. But he has the Ring of Destruction, so that fucking sucks. And now I'm only at 2,800. And I fire the Nobleman Cross out. Banish the Decos. And I have nothing, so I have to say go. He draws in the Thunder Dragon. Okay. He decides to discard the Thunder Dragon, which I thought was Tribe effect, but it's not, so I get my shit back here. Literally have nothing going. He uses Tribe, discards that. Pokes me for 16 more, so now I'm sitting at 1,200 only. I draw into Tsukiyomi. I gain 1,000 at 22. Put the guy face down, send the Tsukiyomi back to hand. He draws into Upstart. Gives me another 1,000, so now I'm at 3,200. Decides to sack the Sinister for Thunder Dragon, and I was praying for BLS last time, and there is the boy, BLS off the motherfucking top. Let's go. Attack, attack. The boy himself. Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the beginning for the game. He was a turn late, but it's all good. I'm glad he came right there. So that was game 1. Alright, clutch ass BLS off the top. Alright. On to game 2 now. Okay. I open Sinister, Knock, Mind Control, Kaiku, and Spy. He's got Thunder Dragon, Sangan, Upstart, BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, and Zaborg. He's got a pretty okay busted hand here. It's not the greatest, but then he has Kaiku. He runs out Sengen and says go. I draw on the Snatch Steal. I don't really know how to play this, so I'm just going to run out the Spy here and attack. I figure if I run out Kaiku, he's going to get Tsukuyomi and I'm going to be fucked, so I might as well just do it like that, and I'll just say go. He draws into Regeki Break. Yeah, this game is not going that great. He banishes the Dark and Light, brings the BLS out, and he summons Kaiku on me, hits me for a shitload of damage, puts me at 2,400 already. Sets Regeki Break and says go. I draw on a Duo, which is a pretty dead draw here. Now I'm thinking if he's got Solemn here, maybe if I fire this Mind Control, he'll Solemn it. But I was completely wrong, and but it wouldn't have mattered because if I fire the Snatch Steal, he's just gonna Regeki Break anyway. So I decide to Mind Control, and then I decide to Snatch Steal the Kaiku, hit him. He takes the 18 first. He says okay, and then he decides to Regeki Break, and he pops the Snatch Steal instead of my Kaiku, give him his Kaiku back, and I set a bluff and say go. He tributes the Kaiku for Zaborg, and that is the game. On to game 3. Alright, so that game was pretty trash. I didn't really have shit to do. Maybe Mind Control wasn't the best side deck against them, so this game I put some Trap Dust Shoots in, some other shit, I don't know, Kaiku's back in, maybe one Mind Control, I'm not really sure. But, here we go, that was a quick game, so we're on to game 3. 2 pretty quick games there, not gonna lie. Alright, game 3. I got Knock, Breaker, Sinister, Sengen, Torrential, and Spy. I decide to set Sengen and set Torrential and say go. He's got Knock, which he knocks my shit, Trap Dust Shoot, Deco, Regeki Breaks, Zaborg, and Chaos Sorcerer. He decides to set Trap Dust Shoot and set Deco and say go. He is going to Trap Dust Shoot me. I draw into Wing Blast. And I would have definitely sent back the Sinister here, but, I mean, just seeing what his hand is, but he ain't really got shit. So he decides to pick Spy, alright, which is fine. Obviously, I'm going to fire the Nobleman here to get that shit out of here, banish both of my Decos. He's only running one, I guess. He draws into Heavy Storm. So he really ain't got much here. Alright. And I draw into Mind Control and say go. He draws in the ring. Decides to set the ring. And now I decide to run out the Breaker. I should have ran him out last turn, because he would have had a little less advantage there. So I did fuck that up, but it's alright. So he rings him. We both take 16 and I say go. He draws into Thunder Dragon. Pretty dead draw here, not gonna lie. He gets his 2 Thunder Dragons and he just says go. I draw into a Trap Dust Shoot, which is pretty good, and I say go. He draws Upstart Goblin. I fire the Dust Shoot and bring the Chaos Sorcerer, put it back on top, or put it back on the deck, I mean, and he upstarts and draws the Chaos Sorcerer. How fucking funny. And I draw another Trap Dust Shoot, and Trap Dust Shoot him again, and this time he draws Regeki Break, and I send the Chaos Sorcerer back again. Put that shit back in again. He draws it right away. He shuffles, shuffles, shuffles. I draw into Gravekeeper Spy now. And I decide to set the Spy and say go. He draws into a Zaborg. He decides to Regeki Break and pop the Spy. I gotta get him to mill this shit somehow, so I draw into Faith. I just say go. He's got a Mind Control. And I got MST. I decide to fire the MST. He chains it to pop the set, which is a Sinister. And now he has Heavy Storm and he has the Mind Control. And he decides to flip it up and get Heavy Storm back. I would have definitely got Upstart Goblin if I was him. But hey, he's not me. I draw a Snatch Steal. I get my Sinister back. I switch my Faith and I just say go because I know he has Heavy. He draws in a Return. Decides to set the Return. Now I draw into BLS. I decide to switch the Faith to attack mode and start attacking. Like, fuck it, let's get this shit over with. He draws into a tomato. Decides to run the tomato out and pokes me for 11. I say, okay, that's fine. In phase, I decide to Wing Blast the back row, put it back on top. I get my Sinister back. I run out the BLS and banish his tomato. Set Serpent, set Book of Moon, say go. He decides the Heavy. I chain. And he sets his Return. Okay, I decide to flip up my BLS and just attack his ass. Boom. Hit his ass for 3,100. Now he's only at 31. I decide to set the Mind Control as a bluff here. He draws into Regeki break. He decides to go for the return right now. Now he's only at 1550, so he can't run into anything or do much here, so we're going to see what happens. Okay, he decides to tribute the deco, forward as a Zaborg, pop the BLS, attack, and hit me for the 2400. Puts me down to 3600 now. In phase, the shit goes away. Now I probably should have just set here, set Solemn, set the thing, but I decided just to go right for it right now and just try to end the game. I try to snatch steal him, and that is a go into battle. He decides to Regeki break to throw the Tsukuyomi down, and he tributes for his Zaborg for a Zaborg, and I have Solemn Judgment for that shit, and now he only has Trap Dust Shoot, so he ain't doing much. I decided to flip the Sinister and try to get aggressive here with him. He draws into Chaos Sorcerer, which is a pretty good draw. And he runs him out and tries to game me here. But I have a Wing Blast and put him back on top. And I draw into Graceful Motherfucking Charity. Let's go. Now I know he has Darks and Lights. I don't know what his back row is right now. So I draw Magician of Faith, Tribe, and Thunder Dragon. I discard the Thunder Dragon and Mind Control. He has the Chaos Sorcerer now. Now, I know he doesn't have Return down, but I still don't know what his back row is. But now I know his Trap does shoot. So he decides to run out the Chaos Sorcerer here. I have Fate face down, so as long as they didn't knock, shit's looking good. He decides to banish. I flip up the Fate, go get MST for the back row, summon the Tribe, discard for effect, attack for motherfucking game. Let's go. Get the rating up there. 14-15 now. Whoop whoop. But that was the replay though, y'all. So hit the like, hit the sub. Y'all have a good day or night. And that's it. Peace.